Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Stroke of Genius Podcast Executive Experience. I'm your host, Aaron Avila. Today, I got a special guest for you, someone I consider more like a friend than I do a business associate. Her name is RonnieLo, and she's a life coach. And you know, life is about energy, and her energy is amazing. And when she comes to business, she's been coaching me. She doesn't really know it, but I've been hearing her. And she's been coaching me on sides with my Stroke TV and give me a little input. We're going to talk a little bit more about the blog in the next conversation we have. But I wanted she knows she broke into business, the news business. She worked for CBS, and here in the United States, she also worked as a field producer in Paris, France. Ronnie has a driver's business life experience making her deal. She has a very diverse life experience making her ideal for being a life coach or business coach. I wanted to bring her online. We have a very short time together. So let me bring her on camera. Hold on. If I can do this. So make this work. Sorry, guys. Here we go.
The Stroke of Genius podcast, hosted by brain aneurysm and stroke survivor Aaron Avila, sharing the experiences of survivors and CEOs. This is your destination for inspiration.
Good morning, Ronnie.
Good, beautiful morning. It's a full moon morning. You can't see the moon. I'm in Los Angeles and it's been storming, but today it's really sunny. It's crisp and cool and sunny. And thank you for saying the things that you said, Aaron. I know that sometimes when we talk and I start asking you questions and then you come up with more ideas for your blog and using your experience in such a way, it's really fulfilling to see your eyes just sparkle when you're like, oh yeah, I could do that. I could tell my story again, because everybody wants to know a lot about your story and your journey, not just the stroke part, but how you have totally evolved your entire life from that point on, and how your family also had to change their lives.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I was talking to somebody about it yesterday, and I've got about 3 books in my mind.
Yeah,
And
3
one
books.
is called Inner Stroke Chronicles. And I'm going to be doing a book. I'm ready to write a book about that someday. But I'm going to start using a blog. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that because I know you've made me kind of aware of how important a blog is. And it's very powerful. It's more powerful than I even know. So I appreciate you being there and rooting for Stroke TV and myself. Thank you very much.
Of course. Yes. It's amazing when you start talking to people and you are vested in them and interested in them, as I was interested in you and your story. And the more that you ask them questions, they come up with the ideas. They're already there. You have so much in your treasure chest, Aaron, as does everybody. But when you have your own stuff, it's hard to clean it out yourself sometimes. Like when you have to clean out a closet, it sits there for months and maybe years until somebody starts going through it with you, like a good friend, and starts asking you, oh, what's this? And you start going through the photo albums and, oh, this shirt, I wore this. And well, what can you do with it now? You start coming up with your own ideas of what to do with your treasure chest. Just like that, when I coach people and I coach executives, for example, or entrepreneurs or small business owners, they start opening up the possibilities. They start seeing other perspectives and they start sorting things out. And they get so motivated, because motivation and inspiration don't just come. You can't just wish it with affirmations. You have to take action, but to take action, you have to slow down and think and express it in order to start seeing the possibilities, in order to then when people see their own possibilities, then they start getting motivated, then they start getting inspired. So it's the other way around, not waiting for inspiration.
Right, and really. I'm not gonna put my notes aside, But really, that is a crux of a life coach. You're able to bring to the surface what has been in the treasure chest all the time. You're able to see it.
Yeah.
And that is I can see where they transform my life, tra- transform a business because they didn't realize it.
Yeah, they grow. People absolutely grow. And being a business owner or just being at work and trying to get that promotion or trying to get ahead or trying to be a leader, it's scary. You can read a lot of articles and a lot of self-help books, and they're all great. They're all great tools. But we often like ikigai. I was talking to Kathleen Caldwell about ikigai. She's in the C-suite network, and that's life purpose. Well, a lot of people get overwhelmed with, what is my life purpose? People usually come up with, well, I'm a mom, I'm a dad, I'm a father. I'm a good husband, I'm a good wife. My children are my purpose, or whatever, or they name their job. And so it's a little bit overwhelming. It's not your job. Your purpose has a common thread. All those times in your life, even when you were a kid up to now, of what fulfills you. Fulfillment, not what makes you happy. Aaron, I can hand you $100 right now. That would probably make you happy, right? You go have a good nice lunch,
Yeah.
with your wife. But is that fulfilling if somebody hands me $100 bill? No, it just makes me happy for the moment. A lobster lunch makes me happy. What fulfills me, that's joy, and that's a basic emotion. That's a basic emotion. So the common thread of what fulfills you and thrills you, and then whatever you feel is purposeful, gives your life meaning, ikigai. You can insert that into your job. You insert that into your business. You insert that into your career, into your personal life, into your relationships. You can insert your purpose, what fulfills you and what makes you you, what gives your life value and worth. So I kind of
Yeah.
call it dual purpose. And then in everything you do, like, what's your purpose in this job? The mission statement. What is your purpose in this relationship? What is your purpose in this task? There's always a dual purpose.
Yeah, there's power in purpose to question. We can tap in as people, as business owners, into that purpose.
Mhm.
It is life changing. And, I found just like you were, people don't realize it, but you were in the news industry,
Yeah.
but you're also in the fitness industry.
It's interesting that you mentioned all that. I guess you were reading my bio. When I was a kid, right out of college kid, I went to France for a few months to learn French. I ended up staying 5 years because I got hired in jobs. I found it fulfilling. We could go my whole history, but I saw opportunities and I went and I asked, "Can I help?" Anyway, I ended up working for CBS News as, they called me a production assistant, sometimes field producer, because they didn't know what to call me. It was like, Ronnie will do it. Ronnie will do it. Because I was in Paris and I would prepare things, the logistics for the incoming correspondence and the photographers, or I would go get sound bites, things like that. But my purpose there was, wow, I felt the thrill of being in the heart of news that was happening, but it was really about facilitating. So evolve, evolve, evolve. I became a news reporter in local stations. My health drew me to become a personal trainer in my mid to late 40s. I was in radio at the time. I had left San Diego, where I was a news reporter, left the news business, got sucked back in on radio in Los Angeles. And my health got me to a corrective exercise specialist personal trainer after 5 chiropractors, acupuncture, 2 Western medical doctors, the whole bit. I could not find relief for this chronic pain. I was put with an exercise specialist who did not solve the problem, but I didn't hurt anymore. I was so into it that I researched it. I would talk to her, and she's like, "You need to be a personal trainer. You need to be a personal trainer." I'm like, "I'm 46. Who does that?" Everybody in La La Land,
Right.
Los Angeles, they're mostly in their 20s. I made it my mission. I then became a personal trainer. I studied, took the exams. I still take exams. I still take continuing education. But the thing is, in personal training, it was facilitating. It was thrilling to me to be able to help people no matter what their fitness level, no matter what their challenges. If it was just, I don't have time to literal physical challenges, Parkinson's disease, dementia, arthritis, a physical ailment or challenge, whatever it is. I became a certified senior fitness specialist. Whatever it is, you can be as healthy as you can be, And so I wanted to help people really be that at the most that they could be at any age, any fitness level. And I was a walking billboard. It's like she was right. I should be a personal trainer, because if they see me and I'm healthy and I'm fit, and I was no athlete, then if I could do it, they could do it. Same thing when COVID happened and the closure started happening and people started asking me, I've got a sister, I've got a friend, that she's not taking care of herself. There was no time for self-care then. Business owners, bosses to staff, they wanted to be indispensable. They didn't want to be furloughed or let go. So they were always available. And, we went through a lot. And the kids were home and the partner was home working off the coffee table. So there was a lot of anxiety, even though you pulled it together. So I started talking to people. It's like, well, you want me to talk to her? And somebody said, you're a really good coach. It's like, well, thank you. Because, I had gone through a lot of behavior challenge and behavior change as a personal trainer, not myself, but I would help people because it all starts here. It's all about habits. So I decided to go to school and become a certified professional life coach to find out what it was really about, because people were saying, you should be a coach. But I evolved, Aaron. I'm like, well, should I be a fitness coach, then a wellness coach? And everybody kept saying, everybody in the LinkedIn space and all that, niche. So I listened to everybody and I thought, okay, I'm going to really micro niche. So I was trying to be a midlife coach because I was in my 50s. Finally, it's like, you know what? My niche is my methodology. My niche is my style. I can coach anybody at any age in any aspect of their life, which is how Aaron and I became a holistic life coach, which is mind, body, and psyche. Some people say mind, body, and spirit, mind, body, and soul, because every single aspect of your life affects the other. Sometimes a little, sometimes a lot, depending where you are in your life or what day it is. But every aspect of your life impacts the other. And if one aspect of your life is idle, that's telling as well. That's how it's impacting the rest of your life. So my niche is my methodology. I mostly work with thought work, and I call it evidentiary thought work, and we could get into that. But that's what's really where I have found, wow, I'm really making an impact in helping people who want to advance in their career, advance in their company, or make career transitions. And I am the queen of transitions, as you have just heard my whole bio.
Right. Really, extracting the, when I go back, I think it's so important, because just hearing you talk gets me excited and gets me jazzed up and ready to go, because energy.
Yeah.
The energy is found in your purpose. It's found in when you tap into that.
I've had the same purpose at every job, but completely different jobs and fields. But my purpose is, there's always been that common thread. I guess that's what energizes me. And that's what I help people find. It's like, what's your purpose? What fulfills you?
And that really is what you as a business coach does. You find that spark, the energy within your client.
Yeah.
And maybe they were going through a chest and they realized it was there the whole time. And you have to identify that, tap into it, and level up the business by tapping into it, correct?
Yeah. And for example, I work with some small business owners, but lately, it's interesting, since about September, I've been working mainly with women who want to change careers. Two gentlemen as well, sorry, career transitions to totally 180s, totally different types of careers. And it's scary to let go. And they didn't have to let go of their old jobs, but they're all in 40s and 50s, but they want to transition careers. And what they have found is that their unique personal strengths, not just their skills and their experience and transferable skills, but their unique strengths, and again, their purpose, is what's helping them translate. If they were given the chance tomorrow to, okay, you got the job, what makes you think you can do it? They can explain why, or what they bring of themselves into that. And that's what's driving them. That's what they're seeing. So while finding your purpose may sound all woo-woo, it's really pragmatic as your touchstone.
Yeah,
It
I
really
think
is.
probably, I mean, what to me is, I'm going to use my life example. My purpose, uh, I was going through the day grind like everybody else. I had a brain aneurysm and stroke. But through this pain, I found my purpose. And I love it. And you bring up the word fulfillment. I have my life right now, even though I'm in a wheelchair, I'm half paralyzed, I'm in a speech deficit. I am more fulfilled than I have ever been. I love my life. I love what I do. I love helping people.
Yeah, and you do help people. I
Yeah,
mean, just basically as a role model, I mean, just there, right there. But to show, hey, I'm in a wheelchair, I've had a brain aneurysm, and I'm interviewing some of the top people. I'm not talking about myself, but like Trisha Ben and other people that I've seen on your podcast, Rich and Dan Goodwin. I mean, you're drawing in people who also have something to tell and something to offer. So you were not doing this 20 years ago. So absolutely, you find what fulfills you and take action. I'm a
yeah.
level up take action coach. That's for sure. I'm like all about taking action. And that's kind of my motto, level up, take action. The action part's the hard part.
I would never say that. I know it sounds easy, but taking action can be a scary place. It can be a place where if I take I'm just put myself out there, it's scary. I mean, how do we deal with the fear of failure, the fear of not being successful? How do you deal with that fear?
Well, it's a long process, but coaching is not therapy. So it's not years of this. It really is through the session and through the work, what I call evidentiary thought work. What are your proven capabilities? You change that thought because fear is an emotion, it's a basic emotion. So whenever you have those fears, the small fears, the daily fears, and fear that there are other emotions that come from fear, anger, disappointment, frustration, annoyance. When you're annoyed with something, it's because there's a little fear. So you look at a trigger during the day or it's something that you're about to take on, a big endeavor. And it's like, well, what's that emotion? And you tell yourself, what am I thinking? What's that thought that's evoking that emotion? There's always a thought. Even if it's a fleeting thought, a split-second thought, there's always a thought that provokes an emotion. Our emotions come from our thoughts. We don't too many of us, like, react right away from an emotion to a reaction. Stop a second. What is my thinking? You reframe your thought to something factual, not an affirmation of something that you hope for. Because if there's a little bit of doubt in that hope and just positivity, but then there's still that little doubt and fear, your brain, our lizard brains, is like, okay, compute. I sense that fear, and it starts looking for more evidence of that fear. It reinforces that fear. As much as you want to motivate yourself and you read inspirational books and you talk to your friends, if you don't fully 100% believe it, that brain of yours is still looking to reinforce that fear. So it's in steps. It's like, okay, what's factual? You neutralize it with something that's a fact, a thought that's a fact. You reframe your thoughts and you work toward, okay, well, that's true. Okay, you neutralize it. And then you're in a much better place because your brain goes, okay, well, that's true. I accept that. And then you step up to even a more positive thought that's true, not something that's hopeful. And you work your way up through that to show yourself your own capabilities, your proven capabilities. You give your brain evidence. So you actually work through that fear with facts, with thoughts, by working with your thoughts. It's very pragmatic. And then all the other tools for the fear, all the self-care, whether it's meditation, exercise, journaling, vision boarding, whatever it is, those are tools. They're just a medium. The actual work starts with you, and all you need is you, and it can be in an instant taking care of a fear. It's like, okay, I'll reframe my thought, because then you have a new perspective and your brain tries to prove your perspective. So anything negative, your brain tries to prove. Anything positive, it tries to prove. But if it's not a fact, your brain's like, I know that's not completely true. So that's how you work through your fear, is you start being logical about it. And yes, you have desire and you have hope and you have faith, but you're working toward that faith with facts. You're working to that in which you have faith in. Of course, you have faith in yourself, and you start proving to yourself why. So I take my clients through the steps of, well, this is why are you capable of this? And they look for facts to prove it. Then it's okay, then I have no reason to fear this step. And they grow. A client of mine came to me after 2 years. She came to me last summer after 2 years of being good at her job. She's really good. She's made a lot of changes, but in 2 years, she did not get that. She was not getting that promotion. Her KPIs were decent. From July to recently, she got a coach. She had gone through therapy. She'd gone through a lot of personal development, all of that. Coaching one-on-one really propelled her to work hard on herself, but she started going through this thought work where she was using the thought work, and it takes practice because we are 30, 40, 50 years old. We're used to a habitual way of thinking. So it takes practice to, okay, how do I reframe that thought? She got that promotion, Aaron. She has that promote. She couldn't wait to tell me. She did, though. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? Because we didn't have our session until like Thursday, and she had gotten the promotion Tuesday. And she said, because I wanted to tell you in person on camera. But it's not me that got her that promotion. It was our coaching. Just like when you're an athlete, you're already a star. You're already on the team. That coach is on the sidelines watching you. Then you go back and watch that video replay, and you see the facts. What were you thinking? How can we improve that? How can we tweak this? You see what you did. So the athlete's already on the team. When they get coached, it's because an objective eye, a fact, a neutral fact, comes in and helps you with what you already have, the talents and skills you already have.
Yeah, man, you're talking about transforming your life. And I think what I'm hearing for you, you're able to pull out first something that already exists. And say, look at what you have right here. This is powerful.
Yeah.
This is who you are. And then I'm going, oh really? Oh my gosh, I'm that person. And then I unlock that personal power that is unbelievable. It's superpower, basically.
Yeah, you believe your pep talk. It's not just a pep talk. You believe it because you show it to yourself.
Right, and that's really so. Let's take that into the business person. So, really, how do what you do? How do we apply that? Who's your ideal client? Who you looking for out there?
It's not so much who I'm looking for, it's who I have seen that I am attracting, which is kind of why I pulled myself of trying to find a niche, because the niche part was just trying to market myself. Yes, it's like, well, who are you going to serve? But I'm like, I can serve more than women going through menopause. There are menopause coaches. That's why I talk about that. I can serve more than that. So I found that I was attracting people who already wanted to be coached, and I had to get certain hours as a coach. And I'm going back actually in the end of February for even another level of coaching through the ICF. That's International Coaching Federation. Because the reason I went back to get my certification is because I wanted to know what this was about. Because anybody can just put their sign up and say coaches in 5 cents, like Lucy, with in the Peanuts. But I wanted to get a curriculum and a format and learn about the ethics. I wanted that protocol and the curriculum and a certain sense of okay, this is us and this is how it's formatted. I wanted those credentials for me, just like when I went and got certified as a personal trainer. So I started attracting people in practicing just for hours who were not in my so-called niche. And that's how I've come to, I want to work with people, and I'm best with people, and people get end results of what they want. People who are ready. They don't want to spin their wheels with more webinars and with more tools and mediums without the fundamentals and the basics, something that will streamline them toward their goals. And the thing is, people start with their goals and go straight to strategies, tips, webinars, all this stuff, rather than taking it back to the fundamentals, the foundation of thought work. So I want to work with people who are ready to streamline it, not waste their money, not waste their time, put in the work, show up for coaching. And this is the hard part, show up for themselves in between the coaching sessions. So I want to work with people who are ready to be coached because they know the value of it, because that's streamlining the process. And I'm all for all the, what I call woo-woo, Erin. I'm all for finding the tools that work for you, because there are people that journaling is not for them. You can give them a beautiful leather journal. You can tell them, gratitude journal, whatever it is. And I have had people go, oh, I'm like, what? I just don't find the time. Or people say, it's like I list the same things to be grateful for, or I don't have time for that, or I don't know how to journal. I found this one lady who we said, okay, what do you do? She likes to doodle, just little scribbles, lines. Like, all right, give yourself a minute. No more than 1 minute. Just doodle. If it goes on to 5, great. So in her doodling, which was nothing, she would think of something, and write it down right away. And then keep doodling. Oh, she was coming up with ideas in doodling. And she loved that because for journaling was just a chore, a task. See what I'm saying? So I coach people to find the right self-care for them. Because even when I was a personal trainer, people would ask me, yoga or Pilates? Yes. What? Which one will you do? So any kind of self-care and personal development works if you do it and it's the right one for you. So I do advocate that. I do advocate what you will do. I have people who have told me, I can't meditate. I start doing laundry lists and to-do lists. And it's like, but meditating really is breath work. And the reason it was breath work is because you have to pay attention to your breath, and then you're only focused on your breath. If your mind goes somewhere else, don't beat yourself up. It's natural. It's like, okay, my mind went there. That's natural. That's being in the moment. But some people can't meditate, so I help them find, well, what will work for you to focus, to learn how to just tap into the moment. EFT. EFT is tapping. You can do it for 1 minute. 1 minute. Everybody has 60 seconds. So I help people find what they will do, and then they do it because it becomes a habit. It's just part of their lifestyle. Just like in personal training, it's like, what will you do? And then we start from there rather than whatever's online or what that trainer says you should do. We always made personal workout plans, and the key word was personal. What will you do? And then they would do it. Same thing with coaching and self-care and self-development. We find what will work for them because you're more prone to do it, and you're more prone to feel happy about being held accountable, which I do.
Yeah, Ronnie, I'm hearing what you're saying. I'm like thinking, I'm trying to think of it, but in mind. But if someone's stuck in business, life, you're going to be able to coach them to get out of that place of being stuck. You're going to give them a new fire, and I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing because I know so many people out there that I need a coach. And I realize what a coach is that one yelling, did from the sideline when you feel like giving up. But the coach is there. No, you've got it in you. You just need to dig. And I'm really excited to continue to grow a relationship, and I'm excited for other people to reach out to you and realize that you can help them dig. You can help them find their superpower.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. They do have a superpower. And the best coaches get coaches.
Yeah.
And we don't want you around for 9 months in coaching. We want you to come back. Coaches have told me that they've had clients for 10 years before the coaching industry blew up into what it is now, because they would coach through something and then not come back for a few months, and then they would come back. So, because we all have different stages and different challenges in life. So yes, a recurring client for a coach would be somebody that, I could use some coaching on this. So it doesn't have to be constant all the time. At first, yes. But then we want you to fly, baby, fly. And the best coaches get coaching. I have a coach, and coaches love to coach each other. I was going through something yesterday. I'm like, I need a coach today. And you learn how to self-coach as well. But it's interesting. More and more companies are going through wellness programs and asking not just for therapy for their team, their staff, but coaches, and not just executive coaches, but coaches for the entire team, because it's been long known that executives work with executive coaches, and also people work with coaches to change careers and they work on resumes. We do more than that. So a lot of companies are now hiring through their wellness programs, contracting out for life coaches, because again, every aspect of your life affects the other. If what's affecting your personal life could be affecting how you are in your career. So the industry is growing because of that, because we see the value of it. You actually spend your time better. It helps you be more productive, more confident, more creative, because you clear things out and you sort things out. You see new perspectives, new possibilities, and you streamline what you need to do, and you take action with clarity and with evidence-based confidence. That's my style.
I love that. I guess I'm getting so pumped up about what you're saying, how you're talking, what you're talking about. So I appreciate that. You're not going to leave this, but whereas at the end of the show, 30-minute podcast. So let's end. How do people get a hold of you? What's been? Give us your social media. Give the people out there social media trying to get out of you.
Well, I go by RonnieLo Life Coach. My full name is Ronnie, Ronnie Loiza, Loaiza, but you'll find me on LinkedIn under RonnieLo Life Coach. And you also find me on Facebook under Ronnie Loiza, Instagram. I'm not on there doing reels. I'm not on TikTok dancing, but I am on Instagram. So I post once in a while, but just go on LinkedIn and find me. And yeah, I would love to connect. Just hit me up and to talk. And if we work together, great. But beside that, I love to connect and network and help you find different resources for different things as well. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you for
Yeah,
holding the podcast.
Ronnie, it's been my pleasure. I can't wait to have you back on the show because I just really love what you do. I love the way you talk about feelings, but you inspire me, and I appreciate that. I thank you for
Thanks.
inspiring me, and I'm sure for the people out there, you want to be inspired. You want to find the lane that you are the most powerful. Jeff Hazlett told me, Ronnie. You want to be the most powerful person you be, learn to be yourself. Learn to be yourself. And that's what I'm getting. You're to coach people to be authentic, to be genuine, to find their lane in life. So I appreciate it, Ronnie. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right.